Today we are going to see Spring Boot batch processing. One example, which is mostly asked in interviews, even converting the data from CSV file to any database. CSV file to comma separated values. That's actually CSV file to any database that we are trying to convert the data here. Observe carefully this process I'm showing here, how it is going to be. In this case, we are going to use some predefined classes here. There's actually reader and writer. We are going to use predefined classes here. Observe how they are going to be. I just want to read one CSV file, that's actually comma separated values file, which is holding the data in multiple lines. After reading the data, process the data and write it to any database, something like MySQL or Oracle database here. I want to write it here. Of course, you can use Mongo database also here. I'm just taking for example MySQL database or SQL based database. First one I'm just taking here, concentrate. This time we are going to use some predefined files, plot file item reader. It's a predefined item reader. We have to just configure this object here with some inputs, plot file item reader. And next we have JDBC batch item writer. JDBC batch item writer that we are going to see. This is a predefined reader, plot file item reader, and JDBC batch item writer. We are going to use these two and write the code here. If you look at how it is going to be. Observe carefully. I'll show one application that is actually reading the data from CSV file. CSV file to MySQL database. CSV file to MySQL database. How to transfer this data I'm showing here, concentrate. First of all, there is a CSV file available here. Just I'm taking one example here. It's a products.csv, comma separated values. 10 comma, pen comma, it's a some 20.50. 11 comma, some box comma, 50.60. 12 comma, keyboard comma, here something, 110.0. Like we have so on dot, multiple values are there. It's a one file. From this file, I want to read the data here. Then we are going to use the concept of plot file item reader. Plot file nothing but text representation data file here. Plot file item reader. That means general text file data. We are going to read the data here. So if you use plot file item reader, read the data from CSV file and convert the data into one object, one line into one model class object here. That's the product type, print product cost here. File name and location. That's actually called we are going to use set resource. We need to details here. We can use class path resource. Then we need to read one line. Read one line here. Step number 2. Read data line by line. This is the first data here. one example, if you look at here, this is one line we are reading. Okay, we have to read the data line by line. So this is done by using the concept of line mapper. Line mapper is used to read one by one line data here. Once you read the data line by line here, then we need to divide the data into multiple values. From line. Okay. So read one by one value here, or separate the values here, something like a 10, pen, and something like 20.50 like this. Okay. So we have to divide the data into individual values like this. Is a value 1 and value 2 and value 3 by using the concept of line tokenizer. By using the concept of line tokenizer, data will be divided like this. Okay. Finally, based on the variable, for every value, set the variable name and convert into object. Set variable name for every value and convert into object. Okay. So we have to create data. We have to convert this data into an object here, something like ID is equals to ID is a variable name and code is equals to something like a okay. That's actually done by using field mapper. Okay, field nothing but actually it's an instance variable. Field set mapper, that's actually concept how to use. Okay, first set the resource, nothing. Second, read one line, that is called line mapper. Divide the data, that is called tokenizer here. And convert the data into an object and set the data based on the variable field set mapper. This is a work done by flat file item reader. This is a work done by flat file item reader here. Observe carefully. One processor. It's a product processor. There in the product processor, I am just taking the input of this object and calculating some values here. Okay, actually object consider we have different values here. ID is there, that's fine. It's a 10. Code is there, it's a pen, fine. And cost is equals to, we have, I want to calculate the GST and also I want to calculate the discount. Okay, these values are not there actually. Default GST is 0.0, discount also 0.0 here. Okay, I want to give it to product processor. There it will calculate GST comma discount by taking the input as a product object. Which is given by flat file item reader. Okay, product processor will do calculate here. It's a discount and GST, and then it will return the object here. with same data here. It's this time calculated data you'll see. This output you are going to see here. Something I'm writing dummy data here. We'll calculate by using some percentages here. Okay, processor calculated the data here. Next, this is actually reader done here. Plot file item reader. Then we are going to give it to batch, JDBC batch item writer. This time, same object is given as an input to batch here. JDBC batch item writer of product. Okay, so data, whatever the objects we are receiving here, all will be stored in a collection until chunk size received here, so on dot dot dot. That's actually stored in the form of list of product. Okay, first of all, if you want to write it to database, we need a database having a table. We need to go to one database, something like Oracle database or MySQL database. And we need to create one table there. Create a table with all columns, required columns. What you want to insert the data. Something like product tab here. Having columns something like ID, code. And dot dot dot. Okay, we have to create a database with a table. And then we have to create a database connection. We have to create a database connection between our application and database so that we can transfer the data. Okay, creating the database connection is actually here. That is called create data source. We can also call database connection. We need to prepare. It's a database connection here. Okay, create a data source here. That is called database connection. Once you create the data source here, okay, define SQL query using named parameters. Okay, something parameter means value comes at runtime. Something like colon some name. You have to define one SQL query with a named parameter. At the place of name, we have to replace the value here. Object contains values. We have to replace the name with a value. Okay, so for that we need to write one representation here. Provide data to SQL using object input. Okay, we can also call here. That's actually data provider here. We have to provide here. That's also called source provider. Source provider. We have to provide the data. And once it is done here, okay, we are going to read multiple objects here. Bulk SQL query is created here. Okay, it's like SQL1 created, SQL2 created. Same SQL query at runtime data differs. SQL3 created, so on. And this will be transferred to database here as a batch. Send it to database here and the data will be inserted. Okay, like this it is actually here. Observe carefully. This is a simple process here. Observe. This is a batch data transfer using CSV file to MySQL database. CSV file to MySQL database here. Observe carefully. It's a flat file item reader. Okay, provide file name and location. Read the data line by line. Read one by one value from line here. And set variable name for every value and convert into object here and do this process here. Like this. You can see. Example here. Now understand some points also I'm just giving here. Flat file item reader. This is actually given by Spring Boot batch. You can see the package name. This is a predefined class used to read data from files, text, JSON, XML, etc. Okay, that's called flat file. Okay, even CSV also comes under a category of text representation. Okay, comma separated values here. First, we need to load file using class path resource. If file is present under SRC main resources folder, file system resource, if file is present under system drive. Okay, something like D drive, ABCD folder, okay, sample.csv like this. Okay, inside the drive, system drive, D drive, E drive like this, file system resource or class path resource we have to use here. Then read data as line by line using line mapper using the concept of line mapper. You can see here line mapper. Convert one line data into values using line tokenizer. Tokenizing nothing but reading the data into one by one value. String tokenizer, you hope you remember. Here also similar here. Data will be converted into multiple values. Okay. Create one object and set data to set values to variables. We can also call fields using field set mapper here. Field set mapper based on the variable name, set the data. That's a flat file item reader is doing here. In the same way, JDBC batch item writer. What it is doing here, JDBC batch item writer. You can see the package name. After processing, data is sent to item writer and stores as list of type format. Okay, it will store the data into list of type format. Define one database connection using data source. Data source here. Okay, that takes actually driver class, URL, username and password. Okay, so here we need to create a database connection. This time we have to write the bin here because we are not using data JPA, we are using JDBC. When you are using JDBC, connection must be created manually. If you use data JPA, auto connection is created. Once you define here, okay, prepare one SQL query. That's actually insert query with named parameters. Okay, named parameter. Parameter means a value comes at runtime, and provide data to parameters using input objects. Okay, whatever the objects that we are getting to write up. Okay, it's actually processing the data sent to here using objects variable names. Finally, send these queries to database to insert. Okay, this is a process here, you can see. Okay, like this we have to do all this process. Okay, I'll show even coding samples even step by step here. Okay, tokenizer general meaning. Tokenizing means dividing the data into individual values. Okay, for example, if you know string S is equals to A space B space C space D. Okay, after tokenizing, it is A is a string, B is a string, C is a string, D is a string. Like this, it is converted. That is called tokenizing. Tokenizing is dividing the data. Yeah, it's a core Java concept only here. Okay, got this point, Mahen? That general meaning of tokenizing means dividing lengthy string into individual parts based on one delimiter, comma, space, dash, dot, any symbol that you can use here. That is general meaning of tokenizer. Okay, I'll ask even one more question, even observe carefully. Okay, it's a core Java concept here. Just I'm writing. There is a class A available. Okay, void M1 is there here. Okay, there I'm writing here. OA is equals to new A. This object creation OA dot M1. Hope you know this clearly, no doubt. I'm writing like this. This is a simple one. I'm writing the code here. Observe carefully. OA is equals to new A of open brace and close brace. OA is equals to new A of double open brace and double close brace. First one, object creation and method calling. Second one I wrote like this here. And third one, what is third one? And what is fourth one? It's a core Java one, nothing new, I'm just writing here. What is this one? Can you tell me what is second one, third one and fourth one? Give your answers in chat box. Take 1 second time and give your answers in chat box. Okay, all core Java points only here. Let me give answer here. Creating object, calling method. This is anonymous class. Okay, one subclass is created for A without any name and object is created and upcasted to A. In your understand here, one subclass is created for class A, object created for subclass and upcasted to A type. Okay, what is the advantage? Is execution faster compared to normal subclass creation and object creation and execution. Okay, this one. This is anonymous class plus, okay, inside the anonymous class, if you write open brace and close brace, this is called block. there are two types of blocks available here. One is called static block and second one is instance block. Okay. See, I just gave like this to make confusion. Two open braces and two close braces. Properly, if you look at, it's a block. Okay. So Java supports two types of block. This is called instance block. We can also call instance initializer block. Okay. Java supports two types of blocks, static and instance block. Okay, instance block has two usages. Instance block can be used if multiple constructors in same class having same logic, then write in instance block. And second one, instance block can be used for anonymous class. For anonymous, there is no class name, so no constructor name. Then use instance block, which behaves as a constructor. Okay, that's actually instance block here. This is instance block with some method call. Okay, it's anonymous class plus, it's anonymous class plus instance block plus method call. Like this. These are all core Java points only here if you look at properly. Okay, this one here. Okay, I'll show some examples code point here. Concentrate. Just concentrate here. Just I'm creating one Java project. There I'm writing okay, I'm writing a class, just concentrate. It's a class A void M1 sysout from M1. Like this I wrote. Okay, there I'm writing main method here. Look at here. Now I'm just creating the object. A is equals to OA is equals to new A. Okay, OA dot M1. Like this I wrote and run this application from M1 has come. Okay, now just I'm writing this one sysout OA dot get class dot get name. Okay, if you want to know what is the OA is actually what type of object, it's a object. Of course, directly we can come to know here, but in case of anonymous class, it helps a lot. What is the implementation class? OA related to which class? OA reference related to which class? If someone asks here, then you can use this code here. Of course, it's a A type only, in.nit.a. Now observe carefully, here I'm writing one open brace and close brace. Of course, you write in same line or new line, open brace and close brace. Now, for this A class, one subclass is created like this. Just for understanding, I'm writing, this is not the actual code. Okay, there is a class created, okay, that extends A. Okay, there is a class created extends A. What is the class name? No name. Okay, that is the meaning of writing these braces. When you write two braces, that is the meaning here. When you write two braces like this, please concentrate. Okay, when you write two braces like this, that is the meaning of this one here. Creating a class without name. If you have a doubt, okay, just run this code. Same two braces, run this code and see. It's a $1. Dollar indicates inner class. And 1 indicates anonymous class actually here. There is no class name given, that's why 1 has come. Okay. So the point here, second point understand here. When you write while object creation, when you write open brace and close brace, that is called anonymous class. That means one subclass is created, okay, for the A class, and object also created for that subclass and upcasted to A type. That's the meaning of writing this one. Okay. So why it is actually here, I will show here. Understand, observe carefully. Next, inside this we can write some block. Inside this open brace and close brace, I am writing one more open brace and close brace. Sys out, just I am writing from instance block. Instance block is automatically executed when subclass object or current class object created. This is subclass instance block. It's not A instance block, it's a subclass instance block here. Now here, run this application here, instance block you can see. You can see instance block, and of course, after that M1 method is called. Okay, M1 method is called here. This is instance block. Okay, so why instance block? Okay, can't we write A of like this? No, we can't write here because already A of is there. Okay, then can't we write $1? No, it's not possible like this even. Okay, this actually, what is the class name? No name. Okay, we can't write constructor here. We cannot write constructor here. So if you want to do something object creation, while creating the object you want to do something here, then use this one here. Okay, so here use instance block here. This actually instance block. Now whatever the method you are calling OA.m1, directly I'm just calling here M1 method. Run this application here from M1. You can see here, this is instance block and this is actually anonymous class. This one. Instance block. Okay, inside the instance block, method calling and everything is done. That is actually like a block here. It's one of the core Java concept here. You can see. It's a pure core Java concept only here. Nothing much complicated. Example code I'm just giving here. If you want, you can practice here. Now, why this much complicated code? Why can't we write simple process like this? Okay, what is the difference between first one and last one here? Okay, a simple point here is, okay, we can add some extra logic while creating the object and we can execute this faster. This gets executed a bit faster compared to this one if we have large data processing. Okay, large data processing, it will be executed bit faster. If you write up to like this, okay, leave this reference actually. And if you write up to like this, okay, anonymous classes are, okay, not much reusable, but execution wise, they are faster. Execution wise, they are faster compared to normal classes. Do you know concept of inner classes in Java? Okay, already we have concept of normal classes. Why especially inner classes? Did you get any time doubt like this? We have normal classes, write normal classes and use them. Why separately inner class? Why class inside the class? Why class inside the interface like that interface inside here? Okay, they actually called static class. Okay, member class, anonymous class. Okay, and also local class. We have 4 types of classes here. Okay, so any inner class is to improve the performance of the application, nothing else here. Compared to normal external classes, okay, external classes here, inner classes makes our application faster. Okay, so it's not high level, but in case of large data processing, it's actually good. Okay, some logic I want to execute multiple times. Okay, for example, this logic is there. Okay, I just want to execute this logic for first line, second line, third line. Okay, multiple times I just want to execute here. Observe carefully. Okay, so this one is actually working for large data. In case of large data, compared to first one, fourth one is better. Fourth one is better. No, sir, I'll write first one. Not an issue. Fourth one is better. Okay. Whatever you can write using fourth one, you can write using first one. Whatever you're writing using first one, you can write using fourth one. Okay. Why I'm showing this one here? I am going to use this core Java future now. Okay. That's why I'm just showing all these points here. Okay. Hope you're clear up to this one. These are the core Java points here. Okay. Still, I'm just giving some questions. Just work on this one here. Okay. What are inner classes? Why they are used? Okay, question 2. Okay, what are different types of inner classes? What is anonymous inner class? What are blocks in Java? explain types. Difference between instance block and static block. Difference between instance block and constructor. Okay, try to find out all these core Java questions here. Okay, this is object creation plus like this here. Okay, try to work on this one here. Now let us just continue the same. Now I am writing a program to do this process. I just want to write one application to do this process. Read the data from CSV file using plot file item reader. Okay, and write one product processor and do all this processing programming here. File, new Spring Starter project, Spring Boot batch config, CSV to MySQL. EX. Okay, reading the data from CSV file and writing the data to MySQL application. Next button. Okay, there I'm just taking Spring Batch, Lombok. Okay, MySQL driver, sufficient here. Okay, Lombok is to generate setGet methods, batch and MySQL database here. Okay, this is sufficient here. Next button and finish button. I just created one application. Step 1. Create one Spring Boot starter project with a name, dependencies here, Lombok, Spring Batch, MySQL driver. Done. Step 2. Define one model class here. Okay, just I'm writing one model class. Right click new. I am writing a class called product. Okay, this model class I'm just going to take multiple variables here. It's a private integer. It's a product ID. Okay, private string. It's a product code. Private double. It's a product cost. Okay, private, it's actually double. It's a product GST and product discount. Like this I created here, @data. Don't you apply @entity, it's not data JPA. It's a JDBC style data transfer here. Okay, this done here. I just created one model class, you can see. Okay. For this model class, create one database table in MySQL. Just I'm creating a database table. Create table product. Okay, there I'm writing its actual PID, int type. It's a P name. It's actually varchar of 20. It's a P cost. It's a double type. P GST. It's a double type, and P DISC. It's a double type. I'm just creating one table like this. It's a product table, you can see here. Okay, taking this one and creating in MySQL database here. Root. Use boot 8 PM. Show tables. Its already product is there. Okay, now I'm creating the table. Okay, a table got created here. You can see here. It's a PID, P name, P cost, and GST. This table got created here, you can see. Okay, create a database table in MySQL here. It's a create table query, you can see. Done. Fourth one, create one CSV file under SRC main resources location. Okay, how to create? Observe carefully. Right click on resources folder, new and file. Go to new option. Go to new option. Inside that, use one option file. If it's not available here, then go to other and search with file. Okay, go to other and search with file. Right click new. You can choose file or else go to other, search with file and choose file option and click on next. Products.csv. I'm just creating here. Okay, it will be opened as a Excel, Microsoft Excel file. It will open as a Microsoft Excel file. Just closing this file here. Okay, a file is created. You can see it's a product.csv. Okay, it's Excel file representation. It is showing here. Comma separated values, also a type of Excel now. Okay, right click, open with text editor. Right click, open with text editor. You can see right click, open with text editor. Open here. 10 comma pen comma is actually 200.0. 11 comma something bus comma, okay, 300.0. Okay, 12 comma table comma 500.0. Okay, so 13 comma keyboard comma 600.0. Okay, 14 comma speakers comma 800.0 here. 15 comma tablet comma 900.0. Just I'm writing like this. You provide how many values you want here. That's a file creation. Okay, understand here. Right click on SRC main resource. It's a new. Choose file. Enter name. Products.csv. Next button and finish button. Close Excel file if it is opened. Okay. Right click on same file. Open with text editor. Enter data as given below and save file. Okay, you have to enter the data as given below and save here. P name nothing but P code. It's a column name. It's a variable name. They can be different also, not a issue here. Now it's a file created. You can see here it's a products.csv. Like this it is created. This is done. Products.csv. It's completed here. Okay. Next, I am writing. We need to write one reader class and writer class, then processor class. Okay. Reader and writers are predefined, so we have to define a processor class. So define one processor class. Okay. If you look at here, it's a product processor, which takes product only input and calculate the discount and GST, returns the product only output to JDBC batch item writer. Okay. Define one product processor class. Okay. That takes product class object as input, calculate GST comma discount values using product cost, return updated product object, updated product class object. That means input is product class object and output also product class object. Okay, there I am writing a code here. Concentrate here. Right click new. I am writing a class. It's a product processor. There I am just taking here instead of model processor. Finish. Okay, right here implements, okay, item processor. Input type product, output type product. Okay, and override a method process. Override a method process. Okay, this process method will read the item here. Okay, from this item, there use cost. Product cost is there. Okay, that's there I'm writing here. It's a cost. It's a double cost I'm taking here. You can use a variable that's actually var. You can use the reserved word var also. That's fine. Minimum JDK version should be 10 if you want to use here var. Okay, var is a word that's actually called reserved word. Okay, added in JDK 10. That's also called as local variable type inference. You can use anything. You can write double also. Where is the recommended standard here if you are using more than JDK 10? Okay, that actually decides data type at compile time. Best data type is decided by Java compiler, not runtime, Java compiler itself. Best suitable data type is decided by Java compiler. Okay, now here I'm just writing here, it's a var GST is equals to cost into some 3% or something like 12% divided by 100, and also discount, it's actually 8%. Okay, once you calculate the values here, calculate data and set data back to actual object. Okay, so there I'm writing item dot set GST, product GST, there I'm setting the GST, and item dot set discount is actually discount. Okay, then final return the object here item. Okay, you can see here, define one class here that implements item processor. Okay, read the cost, calculate the details and set the data back to this one and set this item. Okay, this actually product processor you can see here, product processor class. Observe carefully so far what we have done. Okay, we are writing one application. Okay, that's actually converting the data from CSV to MySQL database. Okay, so that's we have done so far. It's a model class created. Okay, table created here, and resource, that's actually one CSV file created and data provided, and define one processor class. It's done. Okay, and I'm just writing one dummy listener class even now. Okay, just I'm writing a simple listener here, which is actually my job listener. Add job execution listener and click on finish. Okay, I just want to print that batch status actually. It's a get status. Just I'm writing here one listener here. Okay. Step number 6. Define one listener object. Now step number 7, the most important one here, batch config. Observe carefully. Okay. Hope you remember the objects order creation in the batch config. Okay, this actually batch configuration I'm writing here. At the rate configuration, enable batch processing. Okay, one reader object. This is very important here. Second, processor object. Third, writer object. This is also very important here. Fourth, step object. Sorry, step auto wire. Step builder factory. Auto wire. Fifth, step object. Sixth, listener object. Seventh, okay, job builder factory, auto wire. Eighth, job object. Okay, there we have to write. Observe carefully here. Reader object, writer object. Okay, what is a reader? Flat file item reader. Okay, or else directly you can write reader also here. Observe carefully. Public. You can write something like item reader. Okay, it's a product type. It's a reader. Okay, we have to write the logic. Just I'm writing return null. Concentrate carefully. @bin. @bin. Observe. Processor object. Public item processor. It's a product, comma product. There I'm writing processor. @bin. Writer object. Public item writer. It's a product. It's a writer. It's a null. @bin. And step builder factory I'm just taking here. SF. There I'm writing @auto wide. Okay, step object I'm just creating. It's a public. Step I'm just writing step A. You can write any name, not an issue. Return null. It's a step object. @bin. There I'm writing. And listener object I'm writing here. It's a public. Job execution listener. It's a listener object. There I'm writing. Return null. @bin. Okay. Job builder factory auto wide here. It's a JF. There I'm writing @auto wide. And finally, job object we have to create. And @bin. Okay, this is simple flow. Already you wrote multiple some dummy examples over the same process here. Okay. Now this is done. These are the different objects we need to create in the order. In that, especially item reader, item writer are very important. Remaining you can just mention same as before here. Remaining I'm writing here. First, what are available? First I'm filling those. Reader and writer I'll write at last. Reader and write. Reader and writer I'll mention at last here. Concentrate. Okay. Processor I'm writing. Just now we wrote a processor here, new. It's a product processor. Okay, reader and writer I'll write it last. Okay, step object I'm just writing sf.get. There I'm writing it's a step A dot. It's actually product comma. It's actually product of chunk. I'm just giving 3 dot reader object dot processor object dot writer object dot build. It's a dot build. I wrote this one here, you can see. That's fine. Job execution listener, new, my job listener, and that's actually job object, jf dot get. It's a job a dot. Okay, it's actually listener. Okay, that's actually, it's a listener object dot incrementor. It's actually new run ID incrementor dot starting. That's actually step a dot next. No steps are there. If it is there, you can just define step b here. Okay, then finally just call a method called build. Okay, this is done. You can just mention same as before here. Okay, now I am writing product item reader, item writer. Observe carefully. Item reader. Look at the class. Flat file item reader that works on product. Okay, 1. A. Create object to flat file item reader. There I'm writing. It's a flat file item reader of product. There I'm writing it's a reader is equals to new flat file item reader. Of course, you can just write generic type like this. It's a product. That's fine. Okay. Observe carefully. Like this, I wrote this reader object. I'm returning. Reader object returning here. B. Okay. Provide. Okay. File location. That is called resource. Okay. There we are writing here. It's a reader dot set resource. I'm just writing here. Observe carefully. It's a set resource. Okay. Resource nothing but actually, if it is there inside one folder, okay, file system resource, just mention something D drive, okay, my files, something like, okay, it's a products dot CSV. Okay, but I'm just taking inside the class path resource. So here, instead of this one, there I'm taking it's actually, it's a class path resource. There I'm writing it's actually file name, I think same products dot CSV. Look at the file name under SRC main resource means class path resource folder actually here. It's a product.csv. Okay, you can take here. So if it is from internet location, set that's actually URL resource. HTTP colon something here. Okay, my system it's actually nit.com. Okay, files something like products.csv. There I'm writing. Of course, it will throw error here. There I'm writing. It's a new URL we have to pass like this. Based on your resource here, class path resource. Observe carefully. This is object creation and it's a method calling. Hope you are able to see clearly. This is object creation and method calling. Okay. Instead of writing like this, we can write in anonymous style that works somewhat faster. Okay, compared to regular process here. You can see this is object creation and method calling. It's a object creation and method calling. We can write the same in this way. We can write same in this way. Of course, you can keep as it is. Okay, if you want, I'll write in two different ways. First, I'll write in a normal way. Okay, first I'll write in normal way here. Observe carefully. Okay. Dynamically, if you want choose file, okay, then use @value here. Mention the file name at runtime. Okay, that's actually @value from properties file you can take, or else we can take the file name also from database. That's your interest here. Now observe carefully. Line mapper. Observe carefully. Okay, there I'm writing file reader dot set line mapper. If you go to line mapper is an interface. Okay. If the parameter is interface, then what we need to do? Interface, can we create the object? Interface, can we create the object? No. Very good. Then what we need to do? Yes, interface object cannot be created. Then what we need to do? Okay, there we have a method that's actually set line mapper, but line mapper is an interface. Then what we need to do? Very good. Go for implementation class. Very good. Go for implementation class. Okay, it's a line mapper. You can see here, it's a default line mapper I'm taking here. So I'm just writing like this, new default line mapper. Observe carefully, of type product. There I'm writing like this. For this object, I have to set some other details even. For this object, I have to set some other details. See, I'm just writing, it's a default line mapper. It's a default line mapper. It's a line mapper. There I'm just passing this line mapper. It's of generic type product. Okay. For this default line mapper, what we need to do here, I just want to set, okay, some other details here. Line tokenizer. Okay. We have to set here for this line mapper. Set line tokenizer. Okay. Here we have, if you go to line tokenizer, again line tokenizer is the interface. Okay. Line tokenizer is the interface, you can see. It's a delimited line tokenizer. Default delimiter is actually comma. You can just even change also. Default delimiter here is comma, delimiter comma. If you want, you can change the tab, okay, or double quotes characters, or you can write your own also. Not a issue here. It's a line tokenizer. Observe carefully. There I'm using line tokenizer. Why line tokenizer? Divide the data. First line mapper, then line tokenizer. Okay, there I'm writing. It's a new line tokenizer. New default line tokenizer. Default line tokenizer. Here we are writing, observe carefully. It's a delimited line tokenizer. We are setting here. Okay, default delimiter is actually comma. Okay, you need not to set separately here. Set delimiter if you want. It's a default delimiter is comma here. You can just use the same here. That's fine. Okay, so we just created line tokenizer. Line tokenizer we set to line mapper, and line mapper we set to file reader. Okay, this actually code we just write here, and not over. Okay, and we need to read the data and set into object variable here. Okay, so here for this line mapper, what we need to do here, set field set mapper. If you look at field set mapper, again is the interface, and implementation is bean wrapper field set mapper, which it takes actually bean name, that's actually bean type. Okay, and some names it is going to take here. Okay, there I am writing here, it's a field set mapper. Okay, new bean wrapper field set mapper of type product. There I'm taking here, observe carefully, new bean wrapper and field set mapper here. It's a bean wrapper field set mapper. I'm just writing of type product. It's a field set mapper. Okay, so here for this field set mapper, we need to specify the type. Okay, set a target type. It's a product dot class, and also we need to mention the names here. Here set of fields we have to take in. Okay, Here one is missed, I think. Okay. While tokenizing the lines, we have to provide the names also for every tokenizing. What is the name? This is the ID, code, and cost here. Set names. It's a product ID. It's a product code. It's a product cost. Like this we have to write. Okay. This is a code actually here. Observe carefully. Okay. This code I'm just going to make it in a very short format. Okay. It's actually reading the file. See. Line mapper object. Tokenizer object to read data from line. Provide names to values. Link to line mapper. Create object to model class. That's actually bean wrapper field set mapper. Link to line mapper. Okay. And finally link to reader. This actually general code here. You can see it's a reader object. Now this reader object, whatever I just wrote here, for your reference I'm just giving here. Batch config I will give. Reader object. Okay, this is the code I gave. But here I'll just make it in a better way. Observe carefully. I'm just deleting again from here. Everything I'm just deleting here. Writing in anonymous standard here. Observe carefully. Reader dot set line mapper. New is actually default line mapper. It's anonymous style. I'm just writing it's a product. Open brace and close brace. 2 times I'm writing here. Okay, this is anonymous inner class plus block. Inside this directly you can call this code. Separately creating the object and calling the method here like this. Okay, so line mapper you are creating, and inside the line mapper you are passing the tokenizer, and tokenizer object directly you can create inside this. There I'm writing new line tokenizer. Okay, new, that's actually default. Sorry, there we have to write set tokenizer new default tokenizer line one second. It's a tokenizer F3 F4 delimited tokenizer new delimited tokenizer, and there I'm writing even if you want set delimiter as a comma. If you want extra, this is optional, not required. Default is comma only. You can see default delimiter is comma. If you want to specify some extra here, you can write like this. It's a set delimiter here. You can use if you want here. Okay, set line tokenizer. There I'm writing here set field set mapper, and even not only delimiter, we have to set the names. After dividing them into individual variables, we have to provide some variable name, ID, code, and all here. There I'm writing set names. Okay, what is the name? We have to write based on the model class variable here. Just I'm writing based on the model class variable. Observe carefully. There I'm taking the product. It's a product ID, comma, it's a product code, comma, it's a product cost. three values are there. Okay, comma 3 comma values are there here. If you look at CSV file, 10 product ID, it's actually pen, it's a product code, 200 product cost. Like that, this is repeated. Okay, then set field set mapper, new bin wrapper, field set mapper, convert into product object here. Okay, 2 times open brace and 2 times close brace, there I'm writing. Okay, set target type. It's a product dot class. I'm saying convert it to this class object. Okay, this is a code. Look at this code and look at this code. So code is simplified and even it executes faster. Line mapper, line tokenizer, delimiter, names for the variables and field set convert to this model class object. This is anonymous inner class. Okay, style here. Okay, Pratik, did you join late? Second brace indicates local, that's actually instance block. I explained this much code, core Java code. Again, you are asking me, you joined late. Okay, so here observe carefully. If you write two braces here, first brace indicates only one brace indicates anonymous class, and second brace indicates instance block or instance initializer block. Okay, you can see like this here. Okay, some core Java sample code also I gave, you can see here. Okay, what is the benefit of this one here? If you look at here, it works faster for large data. We have large data, right? That need to be processed in a faster way. So it's actually better code. Okay, execution wise, it's a faster code. Same code I'm just giving to you. Don't worry, I'll write again one more time. Okay, I know your talent. Don't worry. Reader object using anonymous inner class plus instance blocks. Same above code in a better way. Okay, same above code in a better way. I just wrote here. Okay, so here this one is a batch config. Still batch config is not completed. Whatever the batch config code I just gave, still it's not completed here. We had to write one more object that is actually writer object and database connection. Okay, so here just practice up to this. Okay, that I'll give continuation in tomorrow's session. Okay, try to join early. 7:50 I am starting the session.